I'm Rudy Panucci, and I was just a guest on the Wake the Fuck Up show with the outlaw rock star Stephen Hensley, who, yeah.
Wake the fuck up!
Where's my brown bear? Where's CD at? Craig Walker, Texas Brown Bear, where are you? Craig's not here? Scotty? Craig? No? No? Zach? No? No Craig? Son of a bitch. All right, anyway, we have a show today. Still the same show, Wake the Fuck Up. Uncensored, uncut, not sober. Want to do a couple shout-outs real quick. This is so... We're supposed to have a dichotomy here. I don't know what CD's problem is. Is he visiting family? Is that it? Is he visiting family? His vagina's bleeding. Okay, that makes sense. I understand. All right, anyway, shout-outs this time. Once again, for the third time on the show, I'm going to keep giving him shouts because I love this son of a bitch. Teddy Rubskin, the Bear of Bears, recently included us on his big news video. For those of you who don't know, my boy Teddy Rubskin is trying to monetize his videos on YouTube with the advertisements and everything. And, you know, that's a process. We haven't made money off the YouTube yet, but I'd like to see him make his money. So support to Rubskin. Chuck Connery, boyo. Thanks for the link to your to the screener copy of Morbid. Scotty and I will have a review forthcoming. We're looking forward to that. I know you're looking forward to that. After all, who couldn't use a rub from the Outlaw Rockstar? I mean, everybody likes a good rub down. That's all I'm saying. And his podcast, zombiesdon'trun.net. And I feel like there's someone I'm forgetting. Oh, well. Oh, my Lord, Howard Stern, my friend Zach Wetzel, Zach Taro, the masked cameraman, hiding behind that camera right there. How you doing, Zachy? Scott, thank you for saving me on this one. Zach Wetzel recently appeared. Well, didn't appear. He vocalized. Is that an appearance? I don't know what the right wording is. But his voice made it on Howard Stern. Howard actually stopped the news because Zach Wetzel called in and dumbfounded Stern by saying he'd heard Stern mention Nicole Bass early in the show. Not just Nicole Bass. Zach called her Sweet Nicole Bass, and he would make love to that woman all night long. During the course of this conversation, Zach stated, for the record, he's a grower, not a shower, and evidently Nicole is a shower. His call cut out before they could cross the T's and dot the I's, but in the future, we're hopeful for you. Howard Stern, God bless your heart, man. You're an inspiration to inappropriate nature and media, and fuck it all. You know, here's to everyone. I want to take this shot of vodka here in all of your honor. Because vodka tastes terrible by itself, this one's to you, Penny Maple. You'll get the reference. All I want to do is drink beer for breakfast. We'll be right back on Wake the Fuck Up. Our guests today, Radio Free Charleston's own Rudy Panucci and Mel Larch, the outlaw rock star, into his house, CD Craig Walker, Brown Bear, vagina bleeding. Don't understand it. We'll be right back.
Radio Free Charleston is brought to you by General Substances. If it's composed of matter, we have a hand or two in it.
Music, animation, short films, and weird stuff. It's Radio Free Charleston.
For Steve, collecting debts was a quick paycheck.
Get fucked, dickhead!
Until they pushed him too far. Check is in the mail. Your head's in the mail. Steve didn't pay the power. Steve will masturbate in your shower. Steve.
Man, I totally should have bought that Coleco Vision. Well, you can. on the card. See ya. Bye.
You want to charge it to the card? Steve charges you with a knife. Steve, don't pay your mortgage. He'll put you in the morgue. You're gonna die. Steve, dead connected. Bring the magic home on VHS and Betamax.
Robert, your dad died last night. His funeral is being held this weekend at the Valley Funeral Home back in Hanover.
Sorry about your dad.
I'm so glad you're here.
If you love me, why do you just leave?
I don't know.
Who the hell do you think you are?
It was always him over me. You still don't get it. We won't be coming back.
What did he do to you?
Robert! Oh my god, Robert, what the hell did you do? Oh my god, don't are you okay? Robert, call 911.
There's a house up there. I'm gonna go get some help. Please, sir, we have an injured little girl here.
Go away. There's nothing here for you, Robert.
Yeah?
Robert!
Do you know what's gonna happen?
Robert, I'm your wife!
Sure. Till death do us part.
Rudy Panucci, Mel, how are you guys?
Awesome. Great.
You know, you guys found Scotty's house better than any delivery driver in the history of Princeton, West Virginia. Every damn one of them calls. You guys had to drive down here in the rain today. By the way, folks, to make a healthy screwdriver like this, you pour orange juice in a glass and then just keep filling vodka until it tops off. There we go. What the hell's been up, man? What's up? Radio Free Charleston. How's things going these days?
It's going great, actually.
Yeah.
I've been dragging my feet to do episode 200.
200.
200.
Wow, that's an accomplishment.
It's been getting close, and I keep pushing it away by doing a new show called the RFC Mini Show.
Mm-hmm.
And that's sort of allowed me to do the show once a month so I can try to pull off the big plans for episode 200.
Right.
Which have already changed once. But
so how long does it take to do the full episode versus the half episode?
it's about the same amount of time.
About the same amount of time.
So
in theory, with the same amount of work, you could get to 200 quicker.
Oh, yeah.
Are you trying to draw out the suspense here? Is this foreplay?
Well, no, I've got special plans.
Rudy Panucci specializes in foreplay.
Well, yeah, I do that. But
Mel, is this a verified fact? I feel no comment.
Yeah. But anyway.
Grower, not a shower.
Yeah. But no, the plan for episode 200 is that we're going to have bands who are regulars on the show cover other songs by bands that are regulars on the show.
And you've actually talked to me about this before.
Right.
When we met for the first time I interviewed you, when I was hammered drunk. It's weird. It's like deja vu, isn't it? We were at the Wayward show, the anti-Valentine's Day show preceding the Valentine's Day show.
Right. And I've actually changed the plans. Back then, the idea was to scramble the vocalist.
Okay.
I've given up on that because you can't get musicians, apparently, to take their valuable rehearsal time together and rehearse for one song with a different group.
Musicians are fickle sons of bitches.
Well, it's going to be rough enough. It's going to be rough enough to get them to learn new songs.
Right.
So I want to give everybody plenty of time to learn the songs. I want to line up the talent. We've got, some interesting matchups, and I'd like to maybe put together a few clusterfucks where people are just doing totally inappropriate songs.
It's weird you say clusterfuck, because you say clusterfuck, and maybe that's not necessarily the word I would use to describe Radio Free Charleston.
Right.
But in essence, it's the mashing of everything together. You're literally, like the full episodes of Radio Free Charleston are like an acid trip of local culture, and sometimes not so local culture. You kind of take everything, put it in a blender, mash it together, throw in some animations, a little bit of weird music, and some stuff that I don't expect, and voila, we have Radio Free Charleston.
That's sort of what I try to do. There was a show in the early 80s on cable called Night Flight.
Mm-hmm.
And it was fantastic for the first year because they had no format. You didn't even know when the thing would come on. because it was part of USA Network before USA Network was a 24-hour channel.
Right.
So there'd be like USA Network and then 2 hours of.
So is this the
WTFU.
inspiration for Radio Free Charleston
Yeah,
right
it was
here?
really the inspiration
Okay.
because
The first year, anyway.
Yeah, they had a half-hour segment called Takeoff,
Mhm.
which was just a company in San Francisco in the late 70s, early 80s, doing the same thing I do. If a band came through town, they're like, hey, we have a public access show. If you let us make videos for you, you can have them. And they got to make videos for Elvis Costello and Nick Lowe.
Mhm.
If you've ever seen the video for What's So Funny About Peace, Love, and Understanding, that's Video West. And they would also cover a lot of obscure San Francisco bands that never made it out of San Francisco.
Right.
But that was part of the show. There was a segment called New Wave Theater, hosted by this fellow named Peter Ivers. And they had all the LA punk bands. They had Fear, X, Geza X, who nobody knows of. He does incredibly melodic punk music, and then he went on to produce the song Bitch.
Okay.
Yeah, like years later.
Bitch.
Who was that?
Meredith Brooks.
Oh my lord, I remember that song. When that song came out right about the time I was in the middle of high school.
Yeah.
I remember going to a conference for the Technology Student Association at the time, and the DJ there, for whatever reasons, played that song. And it was so weird. At the time, I was probably 16 years old, to hear a room with like 600 kids waiting just to scream the word bitch at the same time, with all of our teachers, all of our chaperones, all of the national and state advisors there staring at us like we had shot heroin in front of them.
The weird
But
thing about that was that I had...
free speech.
He had dropped off the face of the earth. I hadn't heard of him doing anything for like 20 years.
I bet he made some money off that one. That song was everywhere.
Yeah.
Everywhere. Okay, Rudy, now we talked about that being your inspiration point. Tell me, because I'm being kind of curious, tell me about the first episode, Radio Free Charleston. You found your inspiration.
Well,
what inspired you to say, I want to do my thing, Rudy's thing?
Originally, Radio Free Charleston was a radio show in 1989.
Right.
And I worked for a really shitty radio company. And I was the 7 to midnight DJ on an oldie station.
I've had some friends do that shift. That's a rough gig.
Yeah, actually it was great because I had no supervision. We had absentee owners, a raging alcoholic program director who never listened past his shift.
So being on that late, are you held to the same standards and rules that the earlier people are?
I was supposed to, but nobody listened. Even the people who worked at the station didn't listen. So I
guess you trade the ego of more people listening for the freedom to do what you want.
Well, the nice thing was that I was gaining listeners, but they just didn't work at the station.
Right.
So I was on from 5 or 7 to midnight, but at one point the midnight shift person didn't show up.
Okay.
For 2 weeks.
Right.
And then the morning, the raging alcoholic program director, morning shift guy, had a family emergency. So
goddamned alcoholics.
I ended up working 100 days straight without a day off.
Okay.
4 minimum
without a single day off?
Without a single day off. 7 days a week.
Was it the same shift all the time?
No,
like
I
the
was
night
all
shift?
over the station. I was filling in whenever they needed somebody.
That sounds terrible.
There were
awesome but terrible. 3
consecutive days I worked from 7 at night till 10 the next morning.
And was this the point in time where you started killing hookers and doing cocaine?
No, that was later. That was the downtime.
I can't remember what Jake told me when I talked to Jake.
But the thing was, I decided, since I was like burned out and just doing things to amuse myself, at midnight when I had to go from being, Rudy Panucci, hey, you're listening to Rudy on your radio, which just still sounds sort of stupid, but
Rudy on the radio.
At midnight, I became Matt Salazar.
Matt what?
Matt Salazar.
Matt Salazar.
Yeah.
Salazar.
And I just started playing whatever the hell I wanted. And then in the morning,
goddamn right.
In the morning, I think I just didn't. I used a third voice and just didn't give my name.
Right.
Because by that point, I was burned out completely. And
so how'd you make the jump? Radio to the videos.
It only took 16 years.
So 16 years.
What happened was...
How long were you doing the radio show in the meantime?
The radio show...
So you're doing
lasted about 9 months.
Okay.
And
was it Radio Free on the radio?
It was Radio Free Charleston.
So you took that with you when you jumped off the radio. That's
name.
Rudy stuff.
Right.
Can't own Rudy.
Well,
you cannot own Rudy. Nobody puts Rudy in the corner.
Right. What happened with the radio show was we eventually got to the point where we had 10,000 listeners at 2 o'clock in the morning.
Are you shitting me?
Yeah. After 100 days with no day off. I went to the management and I said, can I catch a break here? Can you guys throw me something, a raise or something? They said, well, we don't really have it in the budget for a raise, but we're hiring some more people, and we're going to give you a promotion. You're now the assistant program director.
Does that come with a raise?
No.
How's that promotion?
Well, it put me in charge of scheduling the weekend people.
So you get more work, but not more money, not more free time, no fringe benefits.
But there was a fringe benefit.
What's the fringe benefit?
The fringe benefit was I had to schedule all the weekend shifts, and I couldn't get anybody to work midnight Saturday.
So you ended up working that shift?
Well,
I'm not seeing the fringe benefit.
Okay, the fringe benefit is Friday night. We had syndicated programming off the satellite.
Okay.
Dick Clark's, wagging his dick at people. So whatever. And
I've heard Dick Clark was notorious for dick wagging.
Yeah, it's
Dick's dick,
Dick's dick.
Right.
Dick wagging. That sounds like a western.
He couldn't quite wag it the same after the stroke. That was what was really sad.
Wag the dog.
But anyway, so I said, let me put a part timer on the Friday night shift, and I'll take the midnight Saturday to 6 a.m. Sunday shift. On the condition I can do whatever I want. And they said, okay, go ahead. Whatever.
And you said, fuck the FCC.
Well, I didn't really say fuck the FCC. I had the problem that
Would you say that now?
Oh, yeah, fuck the FCC.
Yeah! Fuck the FCC! Yeah!
And they're, keep net neutrality.
Okay.
Now we're topical.
Yeah.
So anything you want Sunday nights, where's that go?
Well, first of all, there was a hitch. We had syndicated shit until 2 a.m.
Ball sack.
Yeah. So 2 a.m., I signed on Labor Day 1989 with Radio Free Charleston playing whatever the fuck I wanted to play.
Okay.
Which included punk and new wave, and I did a feature album and I played an entire album start to finish at 5 a.m. because I knew I was going to be falling asleep by then. And it caught on, and by January, I had 10,000 listeners at 2 o'clock in the fucking morning.
Which is weird for such. Not that Charleston is a minuscule market, but I mean Charleston isn't a large market. It's just not, especially 2 in the morning.
Right, our station didn't have 10,000 listeners.
We have 10,000 people awake at 2 in the morning. I'm surprised.
Well, most of them were drunk. Also,
I'm loving your fan base. Can we cross promote?
Yeah,
You're not on the radio anymore.
With this now, but I was. I'm not going to say the name, but our engineer said, took me aside, said, now, Rudy, whatever you do, don't turn this knob that way because that cranks our signal up and you'll be picked up all over North America. So don't ever do that.
Did you do it? Tell me. Yo, fuck yeah. My boy, this guy. Anti-authority.
Yeah, and we were
Rudy Panucci is an anarchist.
What does this button do? Let's turn it the way we're not supposed to.
You know what I've gathered from this so far is Mel Larch is attracted to bad boys.
Yeah.
Fucking thug life.
Right,
so you crank the dial. What happens then?
Well, you could hear me all over the state. People would call in from Ohio and Pittsburgh. And
why aren't you supposed to crank the dial? I don't do radio, so I'm not sure.
Well, because it makes your signal so strong it overpowers the signals in other cities.
So why wouldn't you do that? Why isn't that legal?
Because there are radio stations in other cities using the same frequency. Right.
Is the argument from Beaker?
Right. And I thought the airwaves belonged to everybody. Silly me.
Right. Well, they belong to me at 2 o'clock in the mornings on Saturdays. So
yeah. I had no idea you were such a gangster.
Yeah. So anyway, we were doing that and getting away with it, and then Michael Lipton is local West Virginia music legend, and he was writing for the Gazette. Wrote an article about me, and unfortunately, that meant that the station found out that I was. Well, and it still took them 4 months to kill the show. Okay, but
they had to find somebody else to do all that work for no raise and no promotion.
Oh, that was the funny. I'll get to that in a moment. But I'd hired Brian Young, who's one of the RC big shots, as a part timer.
Right.
And I pretty much all the part.
Do we like Brian?
Oh yeah, Brian. He's the drummer for Mother Nang.
You're a solid son of a bitch, Brian. I've never met you. I have no idea who Mother Nang is, but you, sir, thumbs up. Thumbs up. Facebook likey all night long.
He's a key player in Radio Charleston.
Really?
If it wasn't for him, I wouldn't have been able to bring the show back as a video show.
Okay, now tell me about that.
Well, yeah, the show got axed in 1990, and I spent years trying to pitch it to other radio stations. most of whom said, we'd love to hire you, but if you do, you'll have our job in 6 months. So I appreciated their
But that
honesty.
doesn't make sense.
Well, I can.
I mean, if you're going to have their job in 6 months, if you're that popular.
Well, it's not that I was popular. It's that they didn't want to lose their job.
Well, fuck their job. I mean, really, though. If you're going to take their job, if you're popular, if you can do that, why not? I mean, money's money.
Well, yeah, but when they...
Money's money.
But they were the gateway.
Money's money.
Yeah, but...
They'll make more money, too. They can just take a step down. No. Somebody's more popular, making them more money?
You haven't worked in radio, have you?
No, I haven't.
Okay.
I've worked in indie wrestling, though. That's its own political snake bit.
If indie wrestling had way, way fewer ethics and morals, you'd have radio.
It says we just get home. Yes.
Just imagine.
Somebody gave me some nunchucks.
Just imagine the most crooked indie promoter you've ever met.
I've met him.
Okay, and you have the average.
Everyone says that on that scene, though.
You have the average radio program director.
Okay.
They would rather see their station in last place than lose their job to somebody they hired.
Okay. This makes no sense, but...
Oh, it doesn't make any sense.
I've been in indie wrestling, so I'll accept occasionally things make no sense from the people that have the authority to give people money, so we're just going to bypass this. Brian, though, he tell me how he got you tuned into the video world.
Well...
Because I love the video world of Radio Free Charleston.
Brian and I, close friends, one of my best friends of my entire life. Mm-hmm. And when you have friends that good, you don't have to stay in touch constantly.
Okay.
We lost track of each other for almost 10 years. And he gives me a call one day out of the blue. I hadn't heard from him in 9 or 10 years. And he's like, "Hey, what's going on?" I tell him what's going on. I was taking care of my sick mother. I'm writing the Pop Cult blog. And he's like, "I've got this studio space in Charleston. It's called Live Mix Studios. And it was on Courier Street. And he said, "Would you come up and see it? I think we might be able to do something for the web." So I go up and check it out and, meet him up there. And the space was just fucking awesome. And it's no longer with us. But
But at the time?
At the time, I mean, it was half of the 5th floor of the Courier building.
Okay.
So it's there. It's just sitting there.
The building is there, but...
So he gives you the space. What happens when you get the space?
Well, it's his
Do you
space.
bring people in?
The first band I had on the show, Brian was a drummer for. It was Whistle Punk.
Okay.
The first episode of Radio Free Charleston had Whistle Punk and the No Pants Players.
Okay.
And the thought was that I would keep the show around 10 or 12 minutes, which is no longer the case. And I would have local music, local comedy stuff, weird short films, and my brother Frank is an animator, and he has...
And he's not the only animator that you've worked with since then. How many have you worked with? I know, of course, you've had... Jake's done some work with you. Jake speaks very highly of you, by the way. If you ever wonder how Jake speaks about you, we interviewed Jake a little while back. The episode, of course, hasn't made air date by the time you made down here. But I don't know how much we even talked about you on the air. But off the air, he speaks a lot about you. And he speaks very highly of you.
I'm glad
and he was nice enough to provide us with some animation. By the way, Jake, I didn't give you a shout out in the opening, but Jake Furtick, I want to thank you for the Rotten Vegetables animation that precedes all of our broadcasts from this point and probably before this point forward. This is the first show we've done since we received that. But thank you very much. Quality animation for the most debaucherous of lifestyles. Back to you, though.
Yeah,
you got a couple of them.
Jake has been a brilliant addition to the animation ranks.
I got to do my shots, Rudy. I'm sorry to segue from what you were talking about.
My brother Frank has...
Frank does animations, though?
Yeah, Frank...
does Frank have a reasonable price tag like Jake?
Probably not. Right now, Frank, the reason it's...
Son of a bitch.
The reason it's great that
I'm always
Jake's
looking
coming
for
around,
some reasonable price tag.
Well, the reason it's great that Jake came along is that Frank is tied up with paying work.
Okay.
And when he's not doing paying work, he does weird shit for his own amusement, and he lets me use it on the show. That's why we've had
That's brothers. Brothers gotta help brothers.
Right. That's why we've had 47 of Frank's Devo hat Energy Dome animations.
Okay.
He gets bored, and he'll make a 1 or 2 minute clip of Devo's Energy Domes dancing around to weird music. You'd be surprised how many of those he has.
Right.
But
I'm surprised how many he has already by your description. How many Devo Energy Dome hats could you have?
Oh, well, it's not that he has the hats. He does these CGI. Frank does computer animation.
Okay.
So he does little computer
that is pretty cool.
dancing hats.
And computer animation, that's its own beast. I don't understand anything about animation. Honestly, everything in animation artists have ever laid in front of me looks impressive. I'm like, fucking ballsack, you can draw?
Yeah.
That's
actually, we
thumbs
had
up.
another
Facebook likey.
We had another
That's my new
contributing
catchphrase.
animator. You wanna talk-
Facebook likey.
Right. If you want to hear a controversy from the show early on, we had a contributing animator.
I love controversy.
Yeah. The
Can I
Pentagram
kick my
Flower-
feet up here? Is this offensive?
Huh?
Lackadaisical host that
No,
kicks his
that's
feet
cool.
up.
Pentagram Flower Box was an animated segment that was done for us by a guy who wanted to be known.
Could you say that name one more time? I'm sorry.
Pentagram Flower Box.
Pentagram Flower Box.
Yeah, it was
Is this
created by
satanic flowers?
It was the basically Satan moving into a trailer park to be on a reality show.
Okay.
And it was created by Third Mind Incarnation. The guy didn't want his real name used. And Brian was the go-between between Third Mind and Radio Free Charleston. Only he didn't bother telling us if we got upset with each other. So around episode 20, the Pentagram Flower Box cartoons were getting longer and less narrative and made less sense, which was cool, except we got a 6-minute cartoon in.
Family Guy's kind of paved the way for less sense and...
Well, this is like really... Third Mind was a devotee of...
So it's more Crash TV than Family Guy is.
Are you familiar with the Church of the Subgenius?
No.
Oh, you must become indoctrinated.
It sounds like my religion, though. I don't currently attend
Slack.
church, but if you can sell me on this...
It's all about Slack, not Slack. Bob Dobbs is the creator of everything.
Dobbs.
And he...
Devil horns for Dobbs.
It's basically just absurd, blasphemous, cool shit.
Yeah!
I mean,
I love absurdity and blasphemy, and I'm not a role model.
What was it? Chris Mahana Kwanzaa.
Mahana Kwanzaa.
Chris Mahana Kwanzaa.
That was the
Chris
Christmas
Mahana Kwanzaa.
Anyway, the controversy was that...
Is that an amalgamation of Christmas, Hanukkah, and Kwanzaa?
Kwanzaa, yes.
It's a Kwanzaa celebration.
But anyway, the Third Mind guy got upset because I cut one of his episodes in half and used it in two episodes of the show.
Yeah,
he wasn't upset about the fact that I cut it in half. He was upset about the fact that I added a title to the second half.
People get upset.
Well, he got really upset and left really nasty comments on the Pop Cult blog, which at that point I was not moderating.
Okay.
Which is, folks, if you have a blog or videos up on YouTube, moderate your shit. Don't let comments go through.
Yeah, we kind of ignored that one, Rudy. I think we're a world of trouble waiting to happen. I can never get a professional job again just because of this show. I've used every obscenity known to man, and I get belligerently drunk and stuff in front of a camera, but, we do what we do. But, okay, you got your animation artist. You're doing your show in the building.
So Pentagram Flower Box.
You have a lifetime of stories behind you. You are like the weathered Western cowboy that you see show up with the 400 million wrinkles, and you want to know the story behind everyone. But you're in the building. You got your animation guys. You got your show with your bands, and then
excising Pentagram Flower Box from the early episodes of the show. Simply because I was like, if he's not happy with me using his shit, I'll take his shit out of the show.
So what's this do for you? He's not happy. What happens?
I pull his stuff off the show, and I just
son of a bitch
post a notice and say it's there's no need. Anyway, flash forward 5 years, and he's got cancer.
Son of a bitch! I feel terrible now for talking shit.
Well, but
give me a warning on the cancer thing. Our ratings just plummeted.
Cancer alert!
Are you serious?
On his deathbed, he said, "Go ahead and put the shit back in the show. I don't care. Do whatever you want with it." So,
that's very decent of him. Yeah. And to you, sir, I'm sorry. I think I said something mean a few seconds ago. Take him back. Take him back.
You
take him back.
Either have loved him or wanted to kill him, because that's generally the
no middle ground.
Probably loved him. I generally stayed drunk, so I'm pretty affable.
This was a guy who tattooed his own penis.
Really? Why do you tattoo on his penis?
I never looked.
Penis tattoo.
I never really looked, but
oh come on, Rudy.
No.
You never looked at a penis tattoo in your life.
Not his.
I had a friend that got a tattoo next to his penis one time,
like
and my friend that got his tattoo next to his penis had a tattoo that said Larry sucks to his friend named Larry. It was weird. They had kind of a bromance going. Anyway.
Okay.
But anyway,
Justin Stewart, I love you. I just had to throw that in there.
But anyway, so I lately, the last couple of years.
So, okay, from there you got the animation back in the show.
I'm putting it back in now.
So how do you jump out of the building?
Huh?
How do you jump out of the building? You're in the building? You're not in the building?
We're in the building, early episodes, and it got to the point where Live Mix was trying to operate as a venue, too. So
okay.
We had to branch out because we didn't...
So they're trying to bring bands in to play shows and stuff? Or
they were bringing bands in to videotape them for Radio Free Charleston, but nobody was making any money on it, and it was really imposing heavily on them. So it was like, I need to go out and start shooting on location.
Okay.
But we had Live Mix as a production partner up until the fall of 2010.
So Live Mix was your start, and then from Live Mix, you leap forward when they're getting all their people in there that are trying to do stuff for it. And you feel you're in imposition, or do they feel you're in imposition?
Well, I'm sure it was obvious. I mean, I was like, hey, can you guys come in?
Were they still decent about it, though?
Oh yeah.
Up until you realized, and then so it wasn't something where there was a blow up.
No, there was no blow up with Live.
It was you realizing that to do more, you needed to branch out.
Well, and it was a good thing we did that because Live Mix was in a beautiful, half decrepit building.
Rudy, you don't want a shot? I mean, I know you don't like the taste of liquor or coffee or I don't know. Rudy seems picky. Somebody that doesn't like liquor and coffee, it's kind of hard for me to judge you. Are you sure?
I'm sure, man.
Okay, it's cool. It's cool. I don't judge you. Yeah. You're a cool cat. I admire you, Rudy Panucci.
That shit would probably
okay, but you're getting ready to jump out of the building. With you getting ready to jump out of the building, we're going to jump to a commercial break real quick. We're going to be right back. Rudy Panucci. Why do we call this episode Batman T-shirt, Rudy Panucci, Outlaw Drunk?
Yeah, we could do that.
Batman shirt, Outlaw Drunk. Anyway, we'll be right back after this commercial break.
Complain about the fucking Catholics.
I was raised Catholic.
So was I.
Son of a bitch. Yeah. We'll be right back.
In 1970, there was a boy named Charlie Morrison. And let's just say he was the most popular kid in school. Charlie was in a troupe, and he invited over the members to celebrate his 10th birthday party. And let's just say things didn't get quite as planned. His mother took him to an old campground. She stabbed him 7 times in the face and 6 to the chest and heart. She just left his body to rot. They say if you still come out to the old campground, Charlie will be waiting, watching, seeking revenge with the same screwdriver that his mom killed him with. And that's the legend of Charlie Morrison.
From award-winning director Eamon Hardiman. When Simon Robertson and his family moved to a new town.
You know, I think we'll be very happy here.
He thinks his biggest problems will be making new friends, talking to girls.
What the fuck? You just got pork chop, bitch.
Schoolwork.
In fact, the school board knew I was teaching you about pork chop. Being some serious shit.
But small town life isn't as simple as he thinks. Pork chops. Meat is murder. Bring the magic home this holiday season on DVD and Blu-ray. Because Pork Chop is back, and you're all fucked.
Wow.
Yep. That was definitely tolerable.
That creature must be prehistoric from the Cretaceous period. This is so exciting.
No, this is terrifying. There's some kind of carnivorous dinosaur out there that's either scared off or killed off all the wildlife.
Frankly, man, we don't know what it is yet. That's why we got a team put together that's investigating it.
You don't know what it is? You damn well know it's the shark, and don't pretend that it's something else.
You ought to keep your minds on one thing only right now, and that's killing the beast.
You serious? You think with all of us out there locked and loaded, this thing stands a chance?
Don't underestimate it. It's smarter than you think.
Listen, Mike, you don't have to worry about anything. You got your big bro, and you got all these guys watching your back. You're safe.
Just keep your head clear is all I'm saying. This thing will catch you off guard. By then, it's too late.
There it is again!
It's circling us.
Oh my god! I never should have come out here!
Just relax, Wendy. I'm not gonna let anything hurt you. She's dead!
Who did this to you?
Snow shark.
Come back, you son of a bitch! You want me? Take me! Take me, god damn it!
Every town has its legends, Campbell. Bigfoot, Chupacabra, Loch Ness Monster. Us, we have a snow shark.
Don, where are you going? I have a shark to kill.
Alrighty. Welcome back. Wake the fuck up. Rudy Panucci here. Rudy, I'm going to make some mimosas here. And for those of you who don't know what a mimosa is, you grab your favorite bottle of champagne and you just kind of let the
Pour it on the table.
Spirits flow everywhere. There we go. That's perfect.
I thought a mimosa was a baseball player.
Rudy, I want you to go ahead and tell me about the death of your building, brother.
Well,
or their building, or the transition.
Well, what had happened, when we were at live
Yay,
gigs,
mimosa.
we would have very loud recording sessions, and we were the only building on the block.
Cheers, buddy.
That was not owned by the Catholic Church, because we were on the same block with Charleston Catholic High School and what's the name of the damn church?
Sacred Heart.
Sacred Heart.
Sacred, really?
Yeah.
Really.
So, Father, now Monsignor Sadie, the real estate mogul,
Monsignor,
or priest, was not happy because occasionally when they would be having a wedding, we'd have a heavy metal band in.
Yeah! Death metal! Death metal for Christ!
It wasn't always us, because, Brian's bands would
Right.
rehearse there. Anyways, his rehearsal
Okay.
days.
So the Catholic Church, not such a fan of your show. What happens?
Well, the owner of the building died.
Okay,
First
dead.
of all, one other Catholic Church point. The Ave Maria clip
Mhm.
was shot on the fire escape. Right.
Mel's got some pipes.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Can Mel sing for us today? I feel like Mel should sing with
Free
us.
Charleston jingle.
Oh, yeah.
Radio Free Charleston.
Can we get another singing clip in a little bit? To close the show, while I'm getting drunk and Rudy and I are palling around.
Wake the fuck up.
Oh, I like that. Can you say that again?
Wake the fuck up.
Oh, my God. That's hot. That's hot. All right. Catholic Church hates your show. Guy dies. What happens to your building? Gone?
It gets left to the Catholic Church.
Fucking ball sacks. So what do you do from there? You grab your cameras, you hit the road?
Yeah, we started shooting on location. Actually, before that, because we did one a variety of things. We shoot a lot at the Empty Glass.
Mm-hmm.
Blue Parrot.
I love the Empty Glass. You know how many times Scotty Slasher and I have gotten drunk at the Empty Glass? We haven't even lived in fucking Charleston. I bet it's happened at least 20, 30 times now.
It's the Empty Glass is like my second home because I used to hang out at the Empty Glass.
The Empty Glass is like the second place I vomit. I don't know if that makes it a home.
Yeah.
No, you didn't. All right. So we're on the road. We got our video cameras. Rudy Panucci interviewing indie bands, indie people all over the fucking place. No, what the fuck, Rudy?
I don't interview.
What the hell do you do?
I just record the bands and let the music speak for itself.
Music speaks for itself. Music is the language of music.
I've interviewed people on maybe a handful of episodes.
Right.
And it's just too much like work, and I don't get paid to do this shit.
Fuck work.
To me, editing music videos is play. It's fun.
Boom.
That's what I like doing.
And we like music.
I get to bring music to the world. Nobody wants to hear you ask somebody.
Okay. So who's your crew for this? Music videos are fun. That's fun. Yeah. To be fun, you gotta have some help. Who's helping you with the fun?
Melanie.
Is Mel here?
Mel's my right hand.
How long has Mel been here?
Melanie, well, she's been part of the show since the first episode. She ran camera for the first time.
And then she
on episode 4 and has probably shot 95% of the host segments since episode 4.
Really?
Yeah.
I didn't know that. So Mel Larch comes in here, like a SpongeBob SquarePants symbiote. She just floats in from the sea, latches onto you. Next thing you know, she's filming everything.
Like
so
squid,
life on the road here. You're filming everything. Radio Free Charleston, popping, people stopping. Zach Taro over here needs a goddamn Red Bull because he keeps yawning. Because nothing in life is as exciting for Zach Taro as sex with Nicole Bass. Here's your hashtag for the evening: Taro and Bass in the ass. There's your hashtag, folks. Taro and Bass in the ass. Baba Booey, you gotta love me, boyo. I love you. Well, I don't love Baba Booey. I love Stern, but that word's popular on there for whatever reason.
Is it like a training regimen? Is he gonna have sex with Big Mouth Billy Bass on the way?
Oh,
I don't know. Maybe Zach has sex with the mouth of a bass or tries to take a bass in the. I don't really know. Yeah. I mean, do bass have assholes? I don't know. I haven't watched the nature videos. I digress, though. I'm sorry. I got a little bit off topic there. Taro and Bass in the ass. There's your hashtag. But Mel's here on the road. You guys are filming everything. So episode 1. Fast forward. When do you get your formula? How long does that take?
Oh, it's sort of actually we don't have a formula.
Really? Yeah, I believe you 100%. I don't even question that. Yeah, of course you do. You know, I watched Scotty and I got hammered drunk one night. Hadn't watched Radio Free Charleston very much, so we put it on the YouTube, on the PlayStation. Those of you with the PlayStation or the Xbox or whatever streams your YouTube, type in RFC, Rudy Panucci, and pull that shit up there. You will see everything in the Charleston area and beyond. I put it on. And we saw like some Renfields. We saw, of course, they've been on here before. The Wayward Girls School Burlesque. Yeah. Some animations from Mr. Furtick. But you know what else I saw in there that surprised me? I didn't think that Radio Free Charleston at the time, I didn't know how far into everything you went. Yeah. My original acting teacher, my first acting teacher, was on an episode of Radio Free Charleston promoting a show. I don't know.
Who was that?
Daniel Cady. Do you remember Dan?
Yeah, okay.
Daniel Cady was my first acting teacher. My parents gave him money, put cash money in Daniel's hand and said, we need to get Steve out of the house. Yeah. He's out of control. We need to funnel this. And they did.
He just exposed the dirty little secret of acting right there.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. And, and really, because Daniel's very involved with the youth scene, with giving the youth something in the area to do. And Dan's a very good script writer. He's a very good writer in general. He's got a very good mind. But I didn't know that he would be on something like Radio Free Charleston. And then you were even showing stuff from the East End, where people just show up and like their kids are performing everything. You cover everything. Love it.
like I said, there's music everywhere. We've
Music everywhere.
shot on location in the alley behind the Kanawha Public Library. We've God, what's some of the weirder locations we've been? Yeah, we've shot at the LaBelle Theater. We've shot at
The LaBelle Theater. You know what else was at the LaBelle Theater, fans? The premiere screening of Pork Chop 3D featuring the Outlaw Rockstar, also Scotty Slasher on camera. Dies in there. It was an Eamon Harden masterpiece. But
we've had IWA East Coast on the show.
Wrestling, I'm familiar with the wrestling community.
I wish I
Outlaw
had
Rockstar rocks.
Amphitheater out there.
We've had indie wrestlers on there. We had Chris Hero. We had Daisy Hayes.
So Claudio
Bullpain.
Castagnoli, as he's known.
Been on the show. Bullpain and Necro and Gypsy Joe were on the same episode.
And Gypsy Joe, the oldest living fuck to still wrestle.
Yeah.
How old is that guy now? He's like in his 80s or 90s or so. It's amazing that he's moving, let alone wrestling.
Yeah.
It's like it's like the Beyond the Matt documentary with Terry Funk, where they're like, you should be in chronic pain all the time, and the guy's just like, that's Gypsy Joe.
Yeah.
What the fuck are you doing, man? You're like
75.
old. Stop.
Yeah.
Stop hurting yourself. But he's a force of nature.
Yeah, episode 75
Doesn't give a fuck.
Was our 3rd anniversary show, and at that point, I was like, I don't know how long this shit's going to go on, so we'll blow it out. We had Unknown Henson.
Seriously, stop for just a second right there.
Yeah.
Unknown Henson?
We recorded him at the Sound Factory.
Get the fuck out.
We had him on episode 50 introducing a Hazel Adkins song.
Are you serious? How did I miss that? I mean, I guess because I came in at not the tail end, but further along in Radio Free Charleston history.
Yeah. Episode 50 is not currently online. It's due back in a couple of weeks. What happened is I uploaded the first 100 episodes to MySpace.
Okay.
And because originally the show was hosted on the Gazette servers. And after about 8 episodes, they're like, this is taking up a lot of space. We're going to have to knock off the early ones. So the shows would drop offline. And I got the bright idea, hey, MySpace will be around forever. So I uploaded the first 100 episodes to MySpace. And they all went away.
Right.
And so now I'm in the process of remastering and re-uploading those. I have like 57 episodes to go. And
God bless, man.
But
God bless.
But I'm also restoring
MySpace.
Yeah.
It seems so archaic now, but at the time, I mean, you're right. Everyone thought it was going to be around forever, and then
right. But anyway, so that's another project I'm working on, is getting ready to.
You got 1,000 projects, so many.
I've got
so many irons on the fire.
I've got Radio Free Charleston, the RFC mini show, and RadioFreeCharleston.com, which took me 8 years to get that fucking domain name.
Right.
Because there was this chicken shit little streaming web radio pussy station from North Carolina playing Americana, that...
Rudy Panucci just went on a profanity-laden tirade.
They grabbed
he doesn't hold back.
They grabbed the domain name.
That's what she said.
Yeah.
Mel would know.
They grabbed the domain name and then went out of business in 4 months because nobody wanted to listen to that crap.
Right.
Nothing against Americana, but they sucked. And
fuck some Americana.
And then I said, "Hey, what would it take to get that domain name off of you?"
I don't know.
$20,000.
Eat shit.
I thought, "Fuck you," but so it took 8 years for their claim on that to be relinquished, so I could grab it. And I'm getting ready to launch RadioFreeCharleston.com.
Yeah.
And it'll have access to an archive that has our old episodes. Plus, it'll have a link to the Cafe Press store.
Yes.
Where we can buy T-shirts allegedly.
Yeah, you can. I need to get that link back out.
No, we do. Okay, Rudy. While we're on the subject of T-shirts, how'd you get into the habit of naming all your episodes after T-shirts?
Well, I thought it would be easier for one thing if I was flipping through video of a show to see what shirt I'm wearing and know what episode it was. And then lately, it's come to my attention that I suck at numbering. Because I was archiving the RFC mini shows and realized that there are 2 number 7s and 2 number 15s.
Okay.
So that sucks because I'm like anal retentive about wanting the numbers right.
Yeah, fuck the numbers, man.
They're
it's all a numbers game, Rudy. Let it go.
Well,
let it go.
So I'm skipping numbers now to catch up. But
just relabel them classics.
Yeah, but that's the thing is the RFC mini show. The goal with that is to present one artist, no animation, anything, and no extra goofy shit. I introduce the artist. It's one artist doing 2 songs. Try to be less than 10 minutes. That way, if the artist wants a video, they can say, "Hey, look, this is me." They've got a video, And
do they?
Well, they've got a video they can show people. They can put it on their
Okay.
page. They can say, "Hey, look, I was on this show."
Because of you.
Well, somebody else might have come along.
Ah, fuck those other people.
I gotta pretend to be modest.
Nah, fuck that.
Anyway, they.
Modesty sells bread.
But the other idea behind it was just as a placeholder, so I could basically deliver a show a week without getting to episode 200 ahead of time.
Mm-hmm.
And it's worked out because there's another thing, and I don't want to knock any of the bands that have been on the show, but a little thing that drives me nuts is, my pet peeve is when somebody says, "Hey, I'm on Radio Free Charleston. My song starts at 11:28." I'm like, the idea is I put it all together in one big package so people can enjoy the whole thing, But I can't. Again,
Well, maybe to be fair, maybe they watch that one thing because that's what they're interested in because they know that person,
and
then it kind of snowballs from there.
Well,
what's this weird guy doing? Oh, I like this thing called. I mean, really, that's kind of what happened for me. I tuned in because I found out you were doing something with the Wayward Girls, who've been very kind to us. And Lord knows I put them through hell when they were on this show. And then that snowball, I was like, because I watched an episode and I was like, fuck it, let's click on a random episode. And then there's Daniel King. I'm like, what the fuck is Dan doing on here?
I ran into
and then everything else.
I was doing the show, and she was like, "Don't do that. You shouldn't do that."
No.
But no, I mean, that was one of the fun things when the clip I did with them on the show. This was our big name show. We had Radiohead. I had the rights to use a remix of a Radiohead song that Frank had done for a contest, and the remix was so drastic. It was for the song "Nude," and Frank doesn't like Radiohead.
Frank's an asshole.
Well, he wanted to, he entered the
Who
contest
doesn't
to
like
try to win a
Radiohead?
piece of equipment.
Well,
so he went
got a
into
piece
this.
of equipment right here, ladies.
Yeah. Anyway, so he remixes the song, and people vote on what they like. And Frank's entry got death threats.
Seriously?
Yeah, they were like, "You suck! Why did you do that to that song?" And Frank's like, and actually the guys from Radiohead didn't mind it because they're like, "You weren't reverent," which he's not going to be, because he's not a fan. He's like, I couldn't tell if the singer was a guy or a girl.
Okay.
Just whining. But anyway, so I had the use of a song called "Nude," and I had the footage where Melanie shot, and I did still photographs of the first full-blown Wayward Girls performance, the Shaka Khan after party 2 years ago.
Oh, the Gorlesque show.
Yeah.
Okay.
Empty glass. And so...
Kitty referenced that the first time I interviewed those folks.
Yeah. And, Kitty's my imaginary daughter, by the way.
No, really?
Yeah. Kitty Kilton, if I had raised a kid on my own...
You're literally the only guy I've ever talked to that has imagined Kitty Kilton as their daughter.
I've been calling her my imaginary daughter since before she was Kitty Kilton. Yeah. Kitty
You're
Kilton made her... Well, we first... She's been part of the show and listed in the credits since episode 24. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Every credit?
Every episode, yeah. Since 24.
I like Kitty. She's a sweetheart.
Yeah, she's... Yeah.
Maybe the only person as messed up as I was on the Wayward Girls episode, but I that endears me to a person.
Yeah, well, when she started doing the Kitty Kilton films with Scott Elkins,
Mm-hmm.
We had those.
When she was like doing the tabloid-esque thing.
Yeah, we had those on episode, I think, 50 and 51.
Okay. So, Radio Free Charleston, you're on the road, you're doing your thing. What's the most outlandish thing that's ever happened on Radio Free Charleston? Without thinking. Don't make that face. Right now, you're thinking of what's appropriate to talk about.
No, I'm trying to think.
We are trying to think what the most outlandish thing is.
I mean, really, you have things to cheer?
Melanie cutting.
I mean, you filmed a lot of things, a lot of people. Surely something jumps out as, this is messed up. I can't believe a camera is rolling right now.
Oh. The most outlandish, fucked up shit we didn't use on the show.
Well, I kind of want to hear about it. Can we
necessarily see the light of day.
Can we hear about it?
Oh.
Come on, Rudiger.
Well, there have been a few.
Rudiger. This is a different audience.
There have been a few bands we've had on the show that if we used the footage, we would not be presenting them in their best light.
Why? Yeah.
Because
Why?
they were drunk as fuck.
What? Why is that not their best light, though? I mean, really, who doesn't enjoy the spirits?
Well,
And while we're
He's choosing
talking,
his words carefully on that one.
while we're talking about the spirits, let me tell you how to make a Tom Collins. Rudiger, you talk all you want. This is just lemonade and vodka, folks. Rudy, you talk about whatever you want.
Yeah.
So Arnold Palmer with vodka instead of whatever the fuck else is in it.
Tea isn't an Arnold.
Sure.
Tea.
Oh.
Yep.
Who the fuck wants tea when you could have vodka?
Yeah. But no, like I said,
He pities the fool.
We've had some.
I pity the fool.
Like I say, we've pulled off some amazing things on the show that I didn't think we'd pull off. Our Halloween 2009 episode, which was like an extended comedy sketch.
Yep.
Again, that was the second time we had Unknown Henson on the show.
That's super cool, really. Yeah. That you got him once is cool. That you got him twice. You, are those my Outlaw Rockstar shades? I like Unknown Henson. For the folks out there not familiar with Unknown Henson, he is an undead vampire from the Grand Ole Opry days. He also provides the voice for, is it Early? On the
Early Kyler.
Early Kyler on the Squidbellies.
Yes.
And,
he's...
You know?
He is a gentleman
and I think you're being generous with the label gentleman, you son of a bitch.
No, seriously, he is.
Is he really?
He's the king of country western troubadours.
Troubadours!
Yes.
Yeah.
Troubadours!
And when he plays a show...
He
stays and signs an autograph for everybody there.
Yeah! Early is not an asshole.
There are photographs of him leaving the V Club in daylight.
Okay.
Yeah.
After staying to sign everybody's autograph and talk to every fan.
All right. Rudy, I think it's obvious talking to you.
Mm-hmm.
There's no way in the span of 4.5 hours we could even begin to mash everything that is Radio Free Charleston together. So we've gone from before the video to starting the video, which Mel's a part of.
Yeah.
Mel, by the way, has an amazing singing voice. Yeah. For those of you who have not heard the angel that's Mel Larch.
It's on YouTube. Look it up.
It's on YouTube.
Yeah.
Ave Maria.
Ave Maria, RFC. It's been viewed in what, like 30 plus countries by now? Something ridiculous like that. I can't believe it. But you have the voice of an angel.
Thank you.
Oh,
She's
angel.
actually in Dan Katie and Mark Scarpelli's Jack the Ripper.
Get the fuck out.
Which,
I haven't heard that name in forever.
When they did it the second time, I did a documentary episode of the show. It's like 40 minutes. It takes them from building the sets and rehearsing to actually
the final
performing.
production.
Okay.
Yeah.
But what I was digressing towards,
yeah,
we're here now. RFC. You don't want to talk about the bands and their poor life. Rudy, come on. Rudy, we got one more. We got one more piece of dirt before we go to the commercial break, and we come back and close the show. Tell me about some dirt. Is it the bands? Is it the filmmakers? Is it the artists? Is it the wrestlers? What? Give me some dirt. Give me some dirt. Give me some dirt.
A guitarist.
Okay.
Oh, here we go.
Here we go.
Will not appear on the show until he
fuck that guitarist.
Until he grovels and apologizes.
Seriously?
Seriously.
What'd he do?
In private,
you're easy to get along with. You came on our show.
Private messages on Facebook. I mentioned that I'm not a fan of smoking in bars.
Okay.
You know.
Why?
I'm not smoking.
Why?
Buried
You know, Sky Slasher is a notorious smoker, by the way. I actually started a Facebook page you made me take down called Help Me Get My Friend Sky Slasher to Quit Smoking.
Well, you know, I don't nag my friends about it.
Okay.
Occasionally I'll say, dude, you know.
Okay, but this guy pissed you off. How'd this guy piss you off?
Well, he sent me the most arrogant series of private messages where he claimed to be the most accomplished musician in the state.
Ballsack.
Bullshit. Yeah, and he's not even the best guitarist in his band. And
whoa! Shoot!
It's on now.
And
like Donkey Kong.
Yeah. And he's...
I'm going to throw a barrel at this bitch.
And he tried to insult me, but he didn't do his research. That's what pissed me off. I don't mind if somebody insults me, but... do your fucking research, man. He's like, you're a pathetic guy who lives alone and plays with dolls. I'm like, well, yeah, I play with action figures, you know, but I've been with Melanie for 24 years. Yeah. He's like, oh, I didn't know. I'm like, yeah, how do you not know I'm been with Melanie for 24 years?
I want you to know how much I'm finding so many vulgar references right now to validate your claim as an alpha male.
Well, but the thing is, though, that... I make more money playing with toys than this guy's ever made playing.
Tell me about his message. Come on, don't just gloss over. What did he say? Screw that. What's he say? His message.
He said I was pathetic.
Uh-huh.
To die alone playing with dolls.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. Okay.
This is the guy you filmed. Somebody that you tried to help.
He hasn't been on the show yet.
And he because he can suck a ball sack.
He's in bands with people.
Well, okay, screw this guy. I don't want to talk about him for another 10 seconds.
Okay.
Tell me about somebody that you do like who has been outlandishly insane. You couldn't believe what happened. And,
we love having Lee Hara on the show.
Yeah.
Lee Hara.
Lee Hara.
Hara, I've seen you post a lot about Hara.
Yeah.
Tell me about Hara and the insanity that is Hara.
Well, I mean, first of all, kick-ass show, probably among the best heavy metal bands in the state.
Right.
Lee's an incredible musician.
Of course he is. He's on RFC.
Amazing front man.
And a contributing camera person and production assistant now.
Get the fuck out.
Yeah.
Really.
He knows everything. Tell me the story of Lee Hara. Actually, tell the fans about the story of Lee Hara while I pee. I'm kind of curious to view this when I come back.
The story of Lee Hara is he's just he's a hell of a guy, and he's the world's biggest fan of the Incredible Hulk. He has one arm is devoted to the Incredible Hulk, the other arm is tattoos. I'm talking. The other arm is devoted to his heroes, which include Unknown Henson, Vlad the Impaler, Charlie Manson. Who else is on there? Is that where he has?
No, that's on the right arm that he has.
Okay.
Bub from Day of the Dead. He has the Popeye anchors on both arms.
He's got the Transformers Autobots symbol on his chest.
Yeah.
Popeye anchors on his arm. He's he likes his tattoos.
Yeah.
But he's just a hell of a nice guy. He's always there when you need him, and he produces. I mean, he gets out there with Hara. We first had him on the show with a band called The Ghost of Now, which included Roadblock, who is another longtime friend of the show and a huge help. He was in Watt 4, and he started his own band, Hara, to play the music he's played throughout his career. Stephen pees loud, doesn't he?
Yes, he does.
Yeah, but anyway, he's just one of our favorite people to deal with, to have on the show behind or in front of the camera. We have other, the Beckner brothers, Mark and Steve, have been friends for a long time. We love having them on.
We have Liz.
Flair Baroshi, who's a brilliant young filmmaker and musician. And he's back.
Yes.
Woo!
You heard us say Flair.
Woo!
Yes, Flair Baroshi.
And on that note.
Woo! Yeah. Did Lee Hara ever tag a groupie in any of the stories that you've heard? I feel like Lee, from your stories, has to be a guy that has tagged a groupie.
We're close enough with Lee that we don't want to do anything to mess up his
relationship
with his girlfriend.
Oh, Lee has tagged a groupie. Lee, you got to find us someday, big boy.
We need to have Lee. You need to have Lee on the show.
We do. We got 2 minutes, though. We got to go to a commercial break. Anything you want to plug before?
Just keep
watching
when we
come back,
Free Charleston, and read the Pop Cult blog at the Gazette. And we just found
you wrote about us on the Pop Cult blog, which is impressive that you were able to work around the wording.
Yeah, that was a challenge. And the next day, or 2 days later, I wrote about Topo Rock, which is a beautiful building we used for episode 100 of the show.
Boom.
And it's been abandoned by the owners. And
I saw something on Facebook about that.
Yeah, it's a beautiful fucking. It looks like the fucking Jetsons house, man.
Yeah, it's not unfair that we. Anyway, I digress. We'll be right back. Yeah. Boom.
They call him El Maestro. Teacher, activist, outcast.
The semester is almost up, and I was hoping we could plan a little Cinco de Mayo activity.
Last September, a young Mexican man was shot and killed as he walked home from a party.
And with Cinco de Mayo on the horizon, I'm anticipating more of the same.
This is a simple town, Mr. Valdez. They don't like outsiders.
Have you ever thought about going to school, Edmund?
Whoa, you hold on right there, Edward James Olmos.
It's been a year and a half since the boy was murdered, and I think us as a community, we should demand answers.
Why don't you leave the investigating to the authorities, Professor?
We are already seeing Mexican flags taken from homes and set on fire. This is an attack on Mexican and Mexican-American culture.
We're living in a sensitive time right now. And now this thing with this Mexican flag protest, it's getting a bit out of hand.
I feel like a failure. I feel like I've let my students down.
I just couldn't get into it. It was too...
Mexican.
Yeah. I think he's trying to make us feel guilty for not speaking Spanish or sticking up for illegal immigrants.
We do not need to combat violence with violence. We speak, they will listen.
It's really only a matter of time.
Before what?
Before you explode into violence.
Did you what?
Cinco de Mayo.
That's two, Sheriff. What are you doing to prevent a third? What you need to do is set up some roadblocks and start pulling over every Mexican you see.
The last one of them.
That's how you protect the town.
I told you, we're working on it.
Sheriff, do yourself a favor.
Get out of town.
What have you done?
They took his job, they took his dignity, and his soul. He's a man filled with Aztec bloodlust.
You see, Hispanics are part Native American. Aztecs were there. The Aztecs used to feast on the blood and the bodily organs of their enemies.
Oh, do you have plans for Cinco de Mayo?
Cinco de Mayo.
What'd you write in the note?
I wrote what you told me to write.
Thought you were supposed to meet that geek at 3:30.
You really know a lot about horror movies.
That's my whole life.
Maybe you should get out more.
Yeah, you're probably right.
Tell you what, close your eyes. I have a little surprise for you.
Is this yours, son?
No, that isn't mine, I swear. I can explain that.
I'm sure you can, son. I'm sure you can. In my office. Let's go.
Hey, what's this? A high school reunion, huh? So you gonna go?
No, there's a reason I haven't gone back in 10 years.
I think we might be in danger here.
Well, we have to find the others then and get out of this house. Brandon, is that you?
When it comes to family.
See this? It's just like I remember it.
Roy, if this is how you remember it, something's fucked with your head.
Sometimes blood. is thicker than water. Pig Girl.
Let me just say, camping fucking rocks.
Available now at Amazon.com on DVD and Blu-ray.
Welcome back to Wake the Fuck Up. I just want to say, Penny Maple, who advised Rudy to not do this show, you can lick a dog's asshole. That's all I want to say. Two things I want to touch on. The first one we're going to give to Rudy. Rudy, I want you to give shouts to whoever you want to, because you, sir, have a mountain of shout-outs. I'm sure you can give out the people that have helped you out, the bands you appreciate, the things you want to promote.
People I want to plug. Empty Glass Records.
Well, let's go ahead. Yeah. Rudy, take your moment. You plug whoever you want to plug.
Okay.
And then I'm going to get to Mel.
Dr. Sketchies, you know.
I know Dr. Sketchies. Chase Henderson, we had Chase on the show talking about Dr. Sketchies, and to be honest, the only relevant point I remember referencing to him was whether or not his art models had ever had an erection in front of the class, or whether people were uncomfortable with drawing their stuff.
Dr. Sketchies is not really a boner environment.
It's really not. You know, they covered a lot of cool stuff. They covered I know they did a Cowboy Bebop thing one time. They did I feel like they did a Ragnarok thing.
Yeah.
One time. Of course, horror themed things. I know El Zombie and Penny did a Twin Peaks-esque moment in the sun. But the other things you want to plug, give it to the world.
Well, the Alban Arts Center.
Yeah, definitely Alban Arts Center. Yeah.
Home.
Yeah.
Joe Lanta, the convention that has brought me down to Atlanta to play with toys for the last 2 years.
You got to do a little hanging and banging with Larry Z and
got to hang out
Larry
with
Zbyszko
and Scott Hall. And,
Larry Zbyszko, by the way, is, in one of my opinions, one of the most underrated wrestling commentators of all time. How does that wrestler think he's going to move that little ant? Think he's going to move that rubber tree plant? One of his constant references I enjoyed. I'm sorry, Rudy.
I'd say we have, of course, the late lamented Live Mech Studios, without whom there would not be Radio Free Charleston. The Charleston Gazette, who gave me a forum to get the show out there.
Which is amazing considering your past history.
Well, not really.
Are you sure? Rudy, you had a radio show with profanity in hours where you could still get fines, despite the fact nobody listened.
We didn't even talk about Melanie and I being the animation columnists for the Charleston Gazette.
All right. I'm going to let you just have free reign while I pour all my drinks in one glass and chug them.
But, Radio Free Charleston, I do a lot of the work putting it together, but there's a lot of people who contribute to it, a lot of venues, a lot of people who support it.
The Outlaw Rockstar hasn't been on there yet. Why haven't I been on there?
Why haven't you been on there?
I don't know. I interviewed you.
Yeah. You have been on there. You were on the Halloween episode last year.
That doesn't count. I didn't say a word. That's probably smarter on your part, though.
Well, you were there with
I have a tendency to alienate. Mm-hmm. Yeah!
So,
Who else? Who else do you? Oh, fucking yeah! Razor Sharp! Yes. Razor Sharp!
Yeah. Razor Sharp has been great.
Was that loud?
CYAC has been great. Dan Katie's company. We've done several shows.
I can't tell you how much it's weird. Yeah. I'm sorry to stop you in the middle of your tirade, but from a personal standpoint, it means a lot to me that you actually, because guys our age, and especially guys like me, we take the time to plug the edgier things, the alcohol-laden things, the profanity-laden things, but that you take the time to plug a guy that Daniel Cady, who's doing things to promote the youth in the area and things they do.
But he does incredible work.
He does.
He did a rock opera based on Jack the Ripper.
But
Mel played Mary Kelly the first time.
Did you really? So you've worked with it. You and I have common ground.
Yes, we do. Yeah.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
We'll have to talk about that after the show.
Yeah, I was in both productions of Jack the Ripper. They've only
Get
done
the
it twice.
fuck out.
Yeah.
That's so cool.
I was Mary Kelly.
And
you
were.
If you know the Ripper story, she was the last victim of Jack the Ripper. And
Not
really
only
brutal murder.
Not only a stage horror actress, she was in The Crawling Dead.
That's right.
Rudy was in Pork Chop 3D.
Yeah.
So you guys are what's that?
I was in Pork Chops.
Yeah.
Were you in two?
He was in two. Mm-hmm.
I have been drunk every time I've watched that movie. I'm going to have to go back and watch that.
I'm in Pork Chop 2 with Lee Harris.
I'm drunk all the time.
Hanging from a tree.
Are you serious?
That's a story for another
I need to
time.
watch it another day.
Yeah. Well, actually, he mentioned Joe Lana, and we were talking about Crawling Dead. I ended up on a Walking Dead panel at Joe Lana because of being in The Crawling Dead.
That's so badass. Yeah. Rudy, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to cut you off from your shout-outs on Wake the Fuck Up. Fuck you, Craig C.D. Walker. You can't make the time to be here today.
One last shout-out.
One last?
The Pop Cult blog at the Charleston Gazette. That's where I write all my shit.
Boom.
Yeah.
And then to our friend Mel. Mel, I cannot believe what a good sport you've been. Not only have you ended up with this hedgehog of a human being.
No, look at this. We're fucking twins.
I mean, we really are. We are like, look at.
I'm going to screw this up and take mine off.
Look at Rudy and I. We are like Wario and Mario.
Oh.
Yeah.
I feel like I'm in a video game now. Does that make me the princess if you guys are Wario and Mario?
I feel like it does. I don't know if you want to be the princess into our land of mushrooms. I like mushrooms. Mushrooms are so fun. But
princess is overrated. I want to be queen, damn it.
There's no queen in the Mario Brothers. I feel like she's done all the Silo Simon just said
Sometimes
fuck
I
it
wonder
all.
about Luigi, though.
But we got Rudy Panucci on here, my evil twin, from the family-friendly standpoint. I can't believe you've been on the show, Rudy. How? This is why this is my last question for you, my friend. How the hell did we get you on the show? You know our show. I get drunk, and according to our April 20th episode that aired after April 20th, there are things. But how did
420.
April 20th. I don't know what. Whatever. How did we get you on here? I mean, really, do you just appreciate everything that much?
I am a fan of what you do.
You're shitting me.
I enjoy this.
You're family friendly and you enjoy what we do.
I'm really not family
Holy shit, boss.
I I think the one talent I have is that people think I'm family friendly.
Right.
But I wrote an article about a toy company this week. It makes really nice, recycled, chemical-free toys, and I mentioned rat feces and urine.
What's your favorite toy of all time?
G.I. Joe.
You're right.
Yeah.
Where's He-Man?
I just learned how to reflock the hair. So
you know, mine's He-Man myself.
Yeah.
Well,
say
closely
you said
related.
of our age. I'm deceptively old.
I don't.
Both of us are.
I'm old too, but you know what? Rudy, G.I. Joe. I can't tell you how many times. Out of curiosity, you've been to a lot more cons than me. Have you met Sergeant Slaughter ever?
I have not yet, but we're trying to get him in Joanna next
You know, Sergeant Slaughter is one of my all-time wish list members for the interviews, but I've gone off. Give me one more shout out before I go over to Mel.
Oh, the No Pants Players.
Yes.
No Pants Players, because they were there in the beginning, the first episode.
The very first episode, and
is that Brian still involved with that?
Which Brian?
Brian, I don't know. Brian your friend Brian.
Brian Roller has just.
I'm drunk.
Is involved with him.
Boom. Yes. All right, Mel.
Yeah.
I don't know what to say at this point, but I really like you, and I didn't get enough time to talk to you today, so we're doing all the.
Back, I guess.
You have red glitter on the side of your right cheek right now.
Shit.
Left cheek. I'm
sorry.
Well. Anyway, Mel, can you sing me and Rudy off of this episode while I just drink notoriously, please?
Your Old Lang Syne. You know the words.
Yeah, that's true.
All right.
That was a.
Here's from. I'm going to sit next to Rudy.
It's early New Year's Eve.
Yeah. Early New Year's Eve.
We'll just have everybody think they're really fun. Imagine if they turned on at the end of what the fuck am I watching? It's New Year's Eve, Okay, here we go.
That'll give you leeway in editing. So
Yeah.
If it takes you a while, you know.
I love this because I actually get to say fuck.
All right.
I say fuck a lot in real life.
Fuck the authority.
Ask him. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oddly, when we're like in the
Yeah. I guess. Well, shoot, I'll take.
Now say whatever you want, baby girl. You are a goddamn gangster on the show.
Oh, gangsta. I like that. Well, like I said, another shout out to my Auburn Arts peeps in St. Albans. I just finished doing Antigone with them last week. He's thanked a lot of the same people that I would. And since yes, nice, I'm going to sing us off now.
Yay.
Should old acquaintance be forgot and never brought to mind? Should old acquaintance be forgot and days of old lang syne? For old lang syne, my dear, for old lang syne, we'll take a cup of kindness yet for old lang syne. Wake the fuck up, everybody.
We'll see you next time.
Rudy Panucci, and I was just a guest on the Wake the Fuck Up show with the outlaw rock star Stephen Hensley, who...
oh my god!
Yeah.
Oh my god!
Yeah.
Oh,
and Stephen would like to have more guests on his show, and he's a wonderful interviewer.
He is drunk.
Totally literate and asks really piercing, important, pertinent questions. So check out the Wake the Fuck Up podcast show on YouTube and at their Facebook page.